Wait, hold on a moment. What are you all doing here so early? Oh, hello, we're being raided. Whoa! Don't know what you were doing here so early. Cheese TV only just started. I thought we weren't in the until the next time slot. Okay, I suppose if everybody's here, then might as well get started. Let me just correct myself to the right orientation here. Well, hello everybody. Well, what day is it today? Oh, wait, it's the 15th. Oh, that's why everybody's here. Oh, this is awkward. Oh no. It's my debut day. Oh, where did that come from? Feels like that's really snuck up on me. Well, thank you all so much for coming in. Yes, I'm moving about. Isn't that wonderful? I think I might be a bit laggy today because I haven't actually tried streaming as well as doing VTube Studio at the same time. And it seems like I have to choose between either my stream being laggy or my model being laggy. Oh, thank you, Solar. Thank you so much. Oh, well, thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by. Had a whole bunch of new followers come in. How many were there? Might have to thank everybody. So I had, Toya, Kay, Icky, and Shinkiki. Thank you so much for everybody for following already. I hope my BGM was keeping you all entertained while I got myself ready. Had a lot of issues so far already, but, you know, that's how debuts go. Plenty of scuff, as they say in the business. And then, DK, you've raided me. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by. How many have I got? I've got 7 people. Wow, that's so cool. Oh, I didn't even know what to say now. Ooh. Guess, how's everybody else? I think it goes without saying how I am. A little bit nervous, as you can probably tell. I think I just shrunk myself. I don't want to do that. Go back to normal size. I'm moving, yes! How cool is this? I can do cool tricks. Watch this. Have you seen this? If I focus really tightly, I can do this. Oh, use my dark vampire magic to hover around. It's so good I can actually get moving again. Oh, I'm not stuck in one place. Walker! Oh, my brother Walker, thank you so much. Oh wow, we're getting so many people in. I'm not used to having this many people here. Thank you so much. For everybody just tuning in, you haven't missed a whole lot just yet. We're getting ourselves set up, trying to fight back the scuff, because I already had the stream drop. Hopefully that won't be happening again. So I guess we might as well just get right into it, huh? Oh, Rosso, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the jam. So what does everybody say? How about we get started? Does everybody want that? I suppose probably a bit tired of just hearing me ramble on, but while I try to get my bearings and work out what I'm even doing. Oh boy. I thought I was feeling ready. Oh, thank you, RV. Thank you so much. I thought I was ready for this, and then I clicked start stream, and then everything started dropping, and now I'm like, oh, blah, 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 all over the place in a panic trying to work out why that was happening, and I think I've got it all sorted now. So, yes. Does everybody just want me to jump right into it? What do you say? I can just jam on out here while I wait for a response. Oh, thank you, Raptor. Thank you. Alright, guess it's time to get started. Make sure I hit the right button on my stream deck here. I've got a nice little intro video planned. It's very cool, very cool. It was very last minute as well, because I only just got the idea like yesterday. But it's very cool, okay. So I shall see you all on the other side.
Don't sing if you wanna live long. They have no use for your song. You're dead, you're dead, you're dead. You're dead and out of this world.
And here we go. Oh, look at me down in the corner there. This is very cool. Might just take a moment to rearrange myself, get into a nice, comfy position. Make sure that you can see my good pal Vippet in the bottom right corner there. He's as much a part of this as I am. He's been my loyal friend for years. And I'm so glad. Oh yes, it's going to be. For some reason it resets itself every time I go into the screen. But if I do this. There we go. Aha! So I'm not sure if everybody saw my nice little lore video that I prepared earlier, but I was looking up what modern day bloodsuckers get up to, and I found a lot of results online about something called a startup. And I didn't quite understand what it is, but apparently they really love slide decks, so I thought I'd put together a slide deck of my own that I can go over a few things about myself with all of you. So, put on my best presenter voice, and let's get started. Oh yes, so hang on. Need to announce myself. My name is Vernon Crowe. Ooh, who's that? Mighty Mouse Blue, thank you so much for the follow, and welcome to the jam. So this presentation is titled Vernon Crowe, by me, Vernon Crowe. So, a little bit about myself. My name is Lord Vernon Crowe. Ooh, Yamiko, thank you so much for the follow and welcome to the jam. I'm glad you like my alerts. I've got only the most up-to-date and hip in pop culture references for all of my alerts. And I'm sure that you'll enjoy all of them. So about me, I'm Lord Vernon Crowe, gentleman of the night, child of the 90's. My pronouns are he and him. I am a male vampire lord. My age, don't ask me about that. That's very rude. I lost count anyway. Oh, hello Kaisi. Thank you so much for the follow and welcome to the jam. And you know how humans, when they get to about 30, they just kind of stop counting themselves because they feel too old. Well, vampires, that's kind of the same. You hit 200, and from that point on, it's like, oh, whatever, I don't want to think about it. And my blood type, people asking my blood type, and I will take any. I'm not very picky. I'll take whatever is on offer. I'm not a big fan of AB negative, though. People hype it up because they say, it's the rarest of all the blood types and all that. But I think it's a bit overhyped. I haven't been a fan of that every time I've tried that. And now for the most exciting part of the presentation, where I read a big wall of text. I am Vernon Crowe. Ooh. Ridian, thank you so much for the follow and welcome to the jam. Oh, and Peach Bones, thank you so much for all the gift subs. So you've just given the gift of movies to 5 people. Welcome everybody to Blockbuster membership. We're bringing entertainment home. Okay, so sorry, if I get a few more alerts while I'm reading this, I might just put them off to the end because I'll keep getting distracted and I'll never actually get through this paragraph. So yes, this is my lore. I am Vernon Crowe, a hella fly VTuber, that stands for Vampire Tuber, hitting the scene as the kids say. Or used to say. I'm very confused, you see, because I seem to have been asleep for a while. I tried finding the cutoff point in my memories, and I definitely remember the 70s and 80s. The 90s are more or less there, but things start to get a bit blurry around the 2000s. Now I've woken to a scary new world that makes Van Helsing look like a Furby. I heard that the internet is where people spend their time these days, watching entertaining videos and communicating with friends all over the world. And so I thought by getting into this streaming business, I could learn a lot about what I've missed during my sleep. And perhaps along the way, my hundreds of years of knowledge and fully sick gaming skills, as Thorpe would say, might prove enlightening to you. Okay, so now I'm going to give a little recognition to the people who've helped me get here so far. So the artists who helped assemble me, I thought I had two papas, but it turns out in VTuber language, the person who does your model is your mama, and the person who does your rigging is your papa. So my mama is Makanyan. He's very, very talented. He did my model and my character art. You see a lot of around a lot of the place, and also my reference sheet, which I send to people to make me look pretty. And now I just want to take in how much detail Marker has put into my model here. Like, oh, I'm getting cut off. Hang on, I'll go back to the chatting screen for a moment so that you can see me in action. Oops, wrong one. So I just want you to bask in my glory here. Like, look at this, look at this, look at this. There's so much detail here. Keep clicking on the wrong window. I've got so many windows open. I don't know what I'm doing. So all the way from my head, going all the way down. He's got my acid wash vest. Very, very hip. A nice little belt here. And you can see it's got a nice little checkerboard pattern, which feels very fitting for a scar fan like myself. Down here, my little friend Vippet. He's been my trusty companion. And to all my new subscribers, that is also actually the basis for my sub badges. You can grow your very own Vippet the longer you stay subscribed. And moving down, I've got my traditional 90s cargo pants. Lots and lots of pockets. And then, combat boots. So I'm ready for action no matter where I am. I'll try to get myself back into the window here. Okay, good, there we go. Gonna head back into the presentation. And good, it's on the same window. That's good, that's good, that's good. And thank you to the new follows I got while I was showing myself off. Ukana and Burnt Turtles, welcome to the jam. So yes, I'm very, very proud of my mama. And as soon as I saw their artwork, I knew that was exactly who I would have to commission to get myself drawn. Because, you know, it can be very hard to find people who do male VTuber models. A lot of the time you're going through their galleries and there's lots of really cute and beautiful lady models. And you're like, these are very good, but I'm not sure if you can draw a handsome, manly man like myself. Oh, Seiren, thank you so much for the follow, and welcome to the jam. And so I was a bit worried because I thought they might have been a bit expensive. But I was like, you know, it's probably going to be expensive. But as soon as I saw this artwork, I was like, no, I have to bite the bullet. I have to see. Oh, thank you, Arvi. Thank you so much for dropping by. I appreciate you coming here anyway. Oh, I only just saw that viewer count. Oh, how is that so high? That's ridiculous. I've never had anything that high. Okay, oh, I'm rambling again. Okay. So yes, I saw their artwork, and I was just in love the second I saw it. And so I thought, yes, I'll just message them, see what they think about my character idea, and get an idea for prices. And then, yes, we got talking, and I sent them through a very, very rough reference sheet. I'm not an artist by any means, but I said, this is what I want to look. I want to look hella fly, yo. And he was like, yes, I can do that. And so we got talking, and it did put a bit of a dent in my bank account, not denying that, but it was worth every cent, because this is just an amazing model, and I get so many compliments that it really, really sets my heart aflutter. You know, Oh, I can do expressions as well. Yes, I forgot I can do this now. Is it? It really makes my withered old heart grow a few sizes when you all compliment me. It means a lot, and the design of my model is, yes, Mark and Jan is all, so thank you for that. And now my papa R's. I have to be really, really careful how I say that with an Australian accent because it can come out very wrong. Oh, but before that, I've got to redeem. Fine, Tippy Mars. I guess you are my little pog vamp. Come here. So my papa is the one who's responsible for getting my joints moving after all this time. You know, I woke up feeling very, very sleepy and drowsy, and it's only thanks to my papa that I was able to get moving again. Look how detailed I am. I can do so many fun expressions. No, it's really good to just be able to get up in the morning and actually be able to do anything on stream again. You know, I'm not stuck in the corner, a little static PNG. But my movement is so smooth all around my body, and you can see all my little chains and accessories jangling about. And thanks to them, I can do lots of expressions too. Like if you hurt my feelings, if you say that you don't like Fortnite or Digimon, then I might just get a bit upset and start crying. But I try to hold it together, but sometimes it's just too much. I have 200 plus years of repressed emotions, and it's just too much to bear sometimes. Oh, hang on. And I can wiggle my eyebrows a bit too. Yeah. And I can also wiggle them a bit like this. Mr. Meat Bro, thank you so much for the follow and welcome to the jam. And so when I get really pissed off, like someone's cheating in a game because that's the only way they could possibly beat me, then I'm just going to get really angry, really angry. And then what else have I got? I can't remember. Oh, so if I start to get a bit nervous, I might start to sweat. Might start to sweat a bit. And then if I get really scared, I might go, oh no, completely lose my composure. Like if I wake up on my debut and I can't start streaming for 10 minutes because my internet is stuffing up when it's been fine all week, this is the face I might make. And then if I'm feeling really good about myself, like if I look down at the viewer count and I've got 39 viewers, I just put in a little, And then, if you send me something really cursed, and you really start to make me uncomfortable, I might pull out this one and just be like, what are you doing? Stop that. And then when you tell me how cute I am, I'm a pretty little vampire. And that's all thanks to the very, very good rigging work of my papa. And it was really funny because when I originally commissioned them to get my rig done, they were like, okay, so we'll get started in about 2 to 4 weeks, and then from that point it'll be another 2 to 4 weeks, and we should all be done. And so I'm like, oh, great. And so I started planning my schedule. I was going to start PNG tubing, and then a little, probably like a couple of weeks after that, to align up with my model being done, I'd be able to start... Oh, Mocha Sips, thank you so much for the follow, and welcome to the jam. Yeah, so I was planning for it to be about 4 to 6 weeks' time, where I'd be able to PNG tube, get the ropes, understand what the heck I'm actually doing, and then within a week, they're like, oh, yep, we're done, here you go. And I'm like, shit. I didn't even got settled and ready to start streaming yet, and then they're like, oh, yep, all ready. So it's a really awkward problem to have, because I feel like a lot of people are waiting for their rigger to be done, and so, you know, they have to PNG tube longer than they were wanting to do. But I had the reverse problem where I was like, oh, I haven't even started streaming yet, and I've got a fully complete model. It's very awkward. But I decided to start PNG tubing anyway, because I felt like there would be so many problems I would encounter. And even though I have had about 2 months of practice now, I'm still screwing everything up. So, you know, it's all good. Oh, Mighty Mouse, you've got the same parents I do. That's very cool, very cool. Walker in the chat there also has the same mama as us, but I think their papa was somebody different. But if there's anybody in the chat who's think of being a VTuber, please, for the love of all that is unholy, please start PNG tubing first. Don't wait for a fully finished design. Just start streaming with something, because everything is going to go wrong. I'm sorry to break it to you like that, but it will. Absolutely everything. I hope that encourages you to pick up this line of work. So moving on to my next slide, a few other people who've done a lot of good work for me. First up is the artist who did my emote. That's the Sakurat team over on Fiverr. They did a really, really good job with my emotes. I sent over... Oh, just Blue. Okay, cool. I'll refer to you as Blue from now on. So yes, they did my emotes. I was very happy with them. I sent over a whole lot of notes, and within, I think it was about a week, everything came back and it looked basically exactly how I envisioned. Only had to give a few minor little tips, just being like, oh, maybe just make this a bit bigger, this a little bit smaller, make my chin a bit pointier. I have very defined features and I want to look my most handsome. And they did it very quickly and it was all very good. And they also did my sub badges and my channel points as well. So for all of my new subscribers today, you have them to thank for both the emotes and your badges. And for everybody else, if you're redeeming any channel points today, you have them to thank for my Tarzos as well. By stream graphics, originally they were done by my assistant Igor, but they were very embarrassing. I asked for professional quality stream graphics, and the things he produced were just awful, absolutely terrible, unusable. But, you know, I felt like I had to oblige him, and so eventually I got someone much better to handle them. Exploding Dice Games over on Etsy. They're the ones to thank for my just chatting screen, as well as my overlays and my splash screen on my starting soon screen and all those sorts of things. So they're very, very good. I'm very happy with them. Turned out pretty much exactly how I wanted. Very happy with it. Very happy. Actually, I might go back to the just chatting screen just so I can give you a little overview of my castle here. Let's head on back. So you can see over on this side, I've got my Smash Mouth poster. One of the hits of the 90s, and I'm sure they're still going strong today. Then over here, I've got an arcade poster, because, you know, I love video games. And down in the corner here, I've got my top-of-the-line CRT, with my video games and a VHS player. It's a top-of-the-line VHS player. Igor is not going to be debuting anytime soon. I'm not letting him anywhere near my computer, because he will probably spill pizza goop or something all over it, and then I won't be able to stream properly. And I would not be happy with that as well. So I've got a top-of-the-line VCR player down here. It's very good, very good. It's very hard to find VHS tapes these days. I'm not sure why that is. Then over here, you can see my throne. It's a very fancy throne. Very happy with that. And then down here in the corner, Igor's made a right mess of the place because he's left his Mokapon cards all over the floor. He's a nuisance. He just leaves things everywhere. We're not freeing Igor. Hang on, I can properly express myself now. We are not letting Igor on the stream. Igor stays away from my computer. He's not getting anywhere near it. That is that. And then also on the side of the screen here, you can see my chat window. It's a top-of-the-line messaging system called MSN. People don't seem to know a lot about it these days. I keep asking people for their MSN addresses, and they never send them through. It's very strange. Oh, you want to see my shoes again? Okay, one moment. Just need to use my vampire magic to float up in the air, like this. You can see my nice 90s style combat boots here. I'm a big fan of them. They're very comfy and they prepare me for all sorts of scenarios. Like an action figure. They have gear for every scenario they could possibly need. Now heading back over to my slide deck here. You can see all the same sort of details here on my just chatting screen as well. I've got my messaging system. I've got my little windows down there that tell you who's been subscribing and the like. And moving on, my logo that you can see down there in the bottom of the screen. It's very cool. It looks like it was ripped just out of a 90s comic book. And that was done by Celestia Dwarf. She was an absolute pleasure to work with. And I'm really happy with how that turned out. It's so good. So you can follow her on Twitter. That's her handle there. So if you need any logos commissioned for yourself, she's the one to go to. And then finally, my super cool, spooky, scary, skanky BGM that you heard before was done by none other than James Gameboy. Oh, Red King, thank you for the follow and welcome to the jam. We're just going over a few details on my debut about who's been helping me get to this point. It was a pleasure working with James. I've been a big fan of his work for a long time. You can find him on Bandcamp and Spotify. Just do a search for James Gameboy. I contacted him, and by contact, I mean recruited him into my productivity dungeon. The people at Commission don't have a lot of say in the matter, but they do get paid, so I don't think they have too much to complain about. But I pulled him over and I said, "Hey, I want some ska." And he said, "I don't like ska." And that made me really upset, because ska is really cool. You know, I keep talking to people about ska these days, and they don't seem to get it, and I don't understand why that is. Because it was at its peak in the 90s, and I'm sure it only got better since then. But I said, I want a theme music that is spooky, scary, and ska. And I think he did an excellent job. It's very, very good. If anyone who's just tuned in, you might not have heard it yet, but it's what plays on my Just Chatting screen and on my Starting Soon splash screen, or whatever it's called. So let's take a look at my emotes here. You might notice there's a big difference in the quality in some of them, especially that one on the end. You might be thinking, well, there's 5 really good emotes here and one that looks absolute garbage. It's really bad. Why is it so bad, Vernon? And that's because DK, he's in the chat there, suggested on his stream that maybe Igor could do my emotes. And I was not going to let that happen after I saw how his stream assets turned out. But Igor heard it, unfortunately, and just kept bugging me and said, "Master, I want to do an emote," in his dumb voice. Very annoying, raspy voice, just like that. And, so yes, he wanted to do an emote of his own. And so I said, fine, I'll let you do one. And so he did the emote there that's called the Tarzo Champ emote. Now I thought, since Americans love their PogChamp emote so much, we didn't really have Pogs in Australia. We had Tarzos. That's what my channel points are. They're Tarzos. And so I thought we could do a Tarzo Champ instead of a PogChamp emote. And so that's what we turned out with. And so this emote is a bit different. This one you can unlock as soon as you've cheered 1,000 bits on any of my streams. It doesn't have to be at one time or at one stream. It just has to be in total, ever, before the sun explodes and consumes us all. So cheer 1,000 bits and then you can embrace the Tarzo Chap spirit. Ooh, Totally Tuft has highlighted a message there. Please check out the Splatoon OST for some awesome ska music. Oh, the Splatoon soundtrack is so good. I love Splatoon. I'm a very big fan of those games, and I can't wait for the third one. And the music, very good. Oh, chef's kiss. I can't quite move my hands up to do a chef's kiss properly, but that's what I'm doing. So these other emotes here, and these first 3 are going to be my tier 1 emotes. I didn't have enough subscriber points yet to put all of them in, but who knows, maybe by the end of this stream we'll be partway there. But the one we've got available to us at the moment is the Doot emote. You know, if you want to start pulling out the trumpets to play some ska or celebrate something, then you can pull out the Doot emote. The next one that I'll get approved as soon as I've got the points for it is the Head Pat emote. Now, I don't like it. Look, you can see how little I'm enjoying it. I'm absolutely not enjoying that at all. Not in the slightest. No. Oh, it's, I mean, I guess you can if you want to. I would say no to any pets. And then the third one there, if something really sad happens in a game, we lose one of our comrades, then we're gonna pull out the sad emote. You know, if we all want to share a moment, vent our feelings or whatever, we could pull out a sad emote. And then, if you improve your subscription to our higher tier, you will access the angry emote. So it's going to be me like this, like, ah! So when somebody kills me in Fortnite, or someone says they don't like Fortnite, that's what we're going to pull out. Or they say they don't like Scar, we're going to pull those out. We're going to get really mad. And then finally, if you upgrade all the way to tier 3, then we get a nice little suave smug there. Got a little eyebrow action in there too. But when we're feeling especially suave. So if you subscribe to me, even if you use your Amazon Prime free subscription, like if you use Amazon Prime, you get a free sub to any channel you want each month, then you'll access some of these emotes, depending on what tier you subscribe to. And then, as I said before, cheer a few bits, and you'll unlock Igor's monstrosity there. It's not very good, I know, but we have to deal with what we get. So let's talk a little bit more about me. Start with some of the likes here. Oop, wrong button. Surprise! I'm a bit into Scar, as you might have heard already. It's a really fun genre, you know. It's got, the power, the passion of punk, combined with the majesty of a brass section. Oh, we've got a full Aussie redeem. I might keep that towards the end if that's okay, Peach Bones. Just so I can do my lore presentation as myself, and then we'll pull out the funny voices at the end. But I promise I will do it. I will do it. It'll be all good. So, yes, Scar, it's a great genre. It's very fun. It's very powerful. Some of these bands have really great messages at their core. All counterculture fighting against the man, but with trumpets. One of the best instruments of them all. It's very cool, very cool. And there's so many bands back from the day, and also new ones coming about nowadays. It's a very good genre, and I recommend that you don't just turn up your nose at it because people say it's not a good genre. Because it is, it's very good. There's a person you can follow on Twitter called Scar2 Network. They do some very good work, both as a solo artist and in a band called We Are the Union. And just last night, they released a album which is all full of Scar arrangements of Animal Crossing music. So it's like one of my favorite game series combined with one of my favorite music genres, and it's just, so good, so good, so good, absolutely amazing. Next up is Shade. Oh, gotta get my posture back in shape. And I registered the hypercam as well, thank you so much. Oh yeah, so about the hypercam thing, you might have noticed up in the top left corner, a watermark keeps appearing. Now, that's because I'm using the top-of-the-line recording program called Hypercam 2, but I've spent so much money VTubing that I can't afford to register it, so it keeps popping this watermark up. But if you use your channel points, you can register it for me, and the watermark will go away for 15 minutes at a time. So thank you so much for everybody who manages to help me register that. So next up on the likes is Shade. Someone with a fair complexion like myself. Can't really go out in the sun. Even if they slip, slop, and slap, it's not going to do much good. I'm going to get very burnt. Let's just say that much. So, I like to pull out a parasol or a hat or something just so I don't really have to go out in the sun, because it's a little bit painful. Next up, video games. That's probably a big surprise as well. And not really, not a surprise. I mean, I've been playing video games. Why would you be surprised? That's stupid. You're silly, chat. Now, I really love video games. Ever since I was younger, Vernon, my caretakers gave me a Game Boy Pocket along with Super Mario Land and Pinocchio. I still remember that. I was, a young lad playing video games. I was having a lot of fun. And ever since then, I can't get enough of them. All throughout the years, the genres and the companies making them might change, but at the end of the day, I still really like video games. And finally, I'm a big fan of theatre as well. Back in my school days, I liked joining the school theatre troupes and participating in those. My teachers didn't like me that much, so I didn't always get the most exciting parts, but I still had a lot of fun doing it, and I had some really good times, and it might come as a big surprise that I'm a bit of a theatre kid, despite my dramatic presence, and my charm, and my good looks, and all that. But yes, I was a bit of a theatre kid. And even now, I still like going to the theatre, mostly to see musicals. But I do like seeing the occasional performance. I saw the Australian production of Hamilton 2 weeks ago, I think that was. And that was amazing. I really enjoyed that. I'm a big fan of musicals. They're very good. People like to write... Oh, my favorite play/musical. My favorite musical would have to be Phantom of the Opera. I really like the cut of that guy's jib. And the music is quite good as well. So that's definitely my favorite. But the one that I've always most wanted to see is Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. They did a Broadway musical about Spider-Man. And apparently, well, not apparently, like it's a fact, but so many of the cast kept getting injured. I think they went through about 3 or 4 different Peter Parkers, 2 MJs, and I think the antagonist got replaced a few times as well. The music is actually really good, and the few clips of it I've seen on the internet are the most campy thing I've ever seen. It looks amazing, but unfortunately I don't think it's ever going to be put on again because it is cursed. Like, so many people almost died, and as metal as that is, I don't think it's worth people dying just for me to see Spider-Man sing on Broadway. But you never know, maybe they'll do some more rewrites and make it so nobody has to jump about and almost kill themselves, because that would be a bit more preferable, I suppose. Pardon me, I'm just going to take a quick little drink. Getting very worn out already. I'm getting so excited I've forgotten all of my vocal training. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so now into the things that really grind my gears. What about that? I've got another hydrate redeem. Okay, I guess I've got to take another drink quickly. Okay. So now what about the things that I don't like? I prefer to focus on the things I do like, but let's see what I don't like. First up, garlic. My stomach really does not agree with it. So if you're making me any food, I would prefer if you leave that out. The results can be very, very messy. Oh, what have we got there? A highlighted message. My theatre teacher stood up on choir bleachers with 2 2x4s taped together with a box cutter tied to the top, just to cut strings that were messing up the curtain. Wow. That's metal. Another thing I don't like, steaks. You know, they go straight to your heart. They're not healthy at all. So, I prefer to eat other things. Maybe a nice raw chicken. Oh, this is something I really hate. You know, you get up early before school, you want to watch some Dragon Ball Z or some Beyblade, but you get up too early, and instead you get forced to watch some random ladies doing aerobics. Something called Aerobics Oz Style. I don't know what that is. But, you know, I want to watch anime. I don't want to I woke up for Cheese TV, the hit children's show where they show anime, and instead I'm getting treated to aerobics. I bet none of you know what that's like when you're expecting to watch one thing and then you're treated to aerobics instead. It's very, very, very frustrating. And the final thing, crosses. You know, they're just a very, very negative shape. You know, you get to your marks back and there's lots of crosses saying that you're not very good. I don't like that at all. I much prefer just seeing naught. You know, like, when people do hugs and kisses, I just prefer seeing the hugs, not the kisses. And if you're playing noughts and crosses with me, I'm only going to pick the noughts. I'm not going with crosses. I don't want them. Now let's talk a bit about the games that I'm going to be playing on stream. So this is for anybody who hasn't followed me yet, because I feel like anybody else might have a good idea what to play. But I'm going to play a mix of the current hotness as well as some weirder stuff. Because, you know, there's popular games that everybody likes to play, and sometimes I'll be game for those myself, but other times, you know, I'd feel like I'm just chasing a trend, you know, playing what everyone else is playing just because that's what I feel like I have to do. So I don't want to do that. I only want to play games that I enjoy, you know, and so sometimes that might mean pulling out something really old from decades ago or something people haven't known about yet. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to play what I enjoy regardless of how popular it is. But if, you know, if a new Pokemon Snap game comes out, I'm gonna jump on that right away. And I might even wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning to play that before anybody else. That might have happened. So probably not going to be playing much in the AAA space. I'm really not a big fan of a lot of AAA games. They start to feel really similar and samey. A lot of open world games with 3 skill trees that you have to upgrade. And they go for this real prestige style where they get a bit up their own bottom with these stories that think they're smarter than they are, if I may be blunt. And also, I don't know, they just seem to be in genres I don't enjoy that much. I prefer to jump into some of the weirder stuff. And I don't mind so much if they're not super polished even. I don't mind a bit of jank because it gives games a bit of personality, Like one of my favorite games I'm going to talk about a bit later. That's actually on the other side of the slide, which is going to pop up soon. It's a really janky game, and there's a lot of systems that don't make sense. You could tell lots of places where things have been cut from the storyline. Oh, Gospel Enjoyer, thank you so much for the follow, and welcome to the jam. So, I don't mind if games are a bit janky, so long as they have that personality and that space for me to experiment in, I guess. I'm definitely going to be putting a spotlight on games on the newer end of retro. A lot of people have nostalgia for the NES and the Super Nintendo and things like that. The games that I'm most nostalgic for would be on the Nintendo 64, the PlayStation, the Game Boy. And so, it feels a bit weird to call the things that I grew up with retro, but that's what people are doing. And so, I suppose I'm going to have to admit at some point that they are retro now. And so I definitely want to try and bring those back. There's a lot of games that were either overlooked at the time or that haven't been spoken a lot since then. And so people kind of forget about them, I suppose. But when I tell people that I'm going to be playing them, they're like, oh, wow, you remember that game? I remember that game. That'd be a lot of fun. Let's play it. Oh, hello, Pancake. Welcome back. Welcome back. And then also, one thing I'm really excited about is sometimes I want to start doing some actual game design streams as well. And I'm probably not making games from scratch, but one of the things I really enjoy is level design. And that's something I'd really like to get into more. Especially in things like Grand Theft Auto Online, where they let you make your own missions and death matches and things. I have actually made a lot of things in Grand Theft Auto in my time. And now I feel like I can do it on stream and actually get people to play them rather than sitting in my list with 0 plays, 0 views, 0 likes, and it's a bit awkward. So I'm really excited to start doing that. That's actually one of the big reasons I started playing GTA Online on stream, so that I can get some interest for my design streams where I make some of my own death matches and things and then play them, and maybe some other people who are watching could even join in and play with me, and that would be really fun. I really always wanted to get into game design as a career, but in Australia the industry is not really that big, unfortunately. And also, work takes up a lot of my time. It's unfortunate. I thought I would be able to balance out some game design projects of my own as well as a full-time job. But it turns out full-time work it's a bit draining, and I'd come home with no energy at all. But I'm starting to fix that. I'm making friends. Started VTubing, which is, it's really perked my spirits up a lot. It's been so much fun getting on here, playing games I like, having everybody here join in and talking to me. It's a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it so far. Now, my top 3 games of all time. The first one is Ghost Trick. That's a game from Ace Attorney mastermind Shu Takumi. I love this game so much. Like, if you want me to talk about my favorite game, I'm just going to rant about this forever. It's a game that is just so perfect in like every aspect. I mean, I don't use that word lightly, but that this game is. The characterization is just amazing. The characters' animations are so over the top. They've got their own theme music. It's just so amazing to look at. And then the music bops. The gameplay is really simple to pick up, and yet they're able to do a lot with it. And then the story is really good as well. A lot of people, when they're talking about the best stories in games, they're normally going to be talking about things like, like The Last of Us, BioShock, things like that. But the one I would throw out there would always be Ghost Trick. You know, it's full of so many quirky characters, full of amazing twists, and you slowly work out over time how all of these characters is related to the others. And it's full of twists and turns. It's really good. And the structure of it is really good as well. Like, every chapter will end with some big reveal or twist. And you can't just leave it there. You know, you're like, oh, I need to know what happens next, And you just keep playing and playing and playing, and then it's all over, and you get sad. But at the same time, it's just so satisfying to play through. Yeah, it's a really good game. I'm such a big fan of that. The next one is Dragon's Dogma. This is the game I was talking about that I said is janky, but so much fun. It is very janky. I mean, there's a lot of very evident flaws in it, and you can also tell where the budget was cut, because they had to, yes, masterworks all, can't go wrong. Wolves hunt in packs. It's weak to fire, and so on and so forth. You know, it's such a fun game. It's basically Capcom's take on a Western RPG. You know, it's got all the Dungeons and Dragons style fantasy setting, but with the gameplay of Devil May Cry kind of thing. The combat is one of the best in like any RPG, especially in the open world genre. And it's just a game that's full of heart. There's so much I like about it. Oh, Zeph, thank you for stopping by. Thank you. It is a happy debut day so far. A lot of scuff to start with because my internet decided to drop out as I started streaming. But I managed to get it all sorted now, I hope. We shall see. But yes, Dragon's Dogma is very heavily D&D inspired. It pulls out a lot of the same monsters. And yes, and the combat is so much fun. I did watch the Dragon's Dogma anime on Netflix. Wasn't a huge fan. It was very tonally different from the game and very problematic in points as well. It was really grim and dark, but the game wasn't like that at all, so I didn't really understand that at all. But yes, that's right. It's a debut. There's going to be scuff. I did get a bit frustrated, but I think I'm all good now. In the final game, Super Mario 64. It's a classic, and I don't think it's ever going to be booted out of my top games list. You know, this was just a mind-blowing game when I was a younger Vernon. You know, you just pick up the controller and you had all these big open worlds to jump around, full of color, full of fun characters, and most of all, it was like a really fun sandbox. You can just jump around and experiment, and there were so many fun things to do. And even when I went back and played it recently on the Nintendo Switch, because they ported it to that, I still had just as much fun as I did as a child. It was so much fun. Got some questions coming in. Do I like Castlevania? Very, very awkwardly, have not actually played a single one. But I've played as Simon and Richter in Smash Bros. If that counts. I had to put aside my grievances of the fact they'd put vampire hunters in a game that I enjoyed so much. But I did end up playing as them, and they were quite good. And yes, Seth has said, you love my accent. Thank you so much. It does tickle me a little bit every time people say they like my voice or they like how I'm dressed. Very good compliments. I'm a big fan of that. Okay, so moving on. Ooh, we've got some fun old social stuff. So I'm going to get a hashtag for basically anything that people want to post about me, whether that's memes, fan art, or questions you want to ask me or anything. We can use the hashtag VerNoise. That was the best pun I could come up with, but it's VerNoise instead of Vernon, VerNoise. And whenever I go live, I'm going to be using the hashtag VerNow. So if you set up any alerts for that hashtag, you'll be able to know exactly when I go online. I got a poll ready because here we go. Pull up Twitch, and I think I can set up a poll because we need to decide on a fan name. I've narrowed it down to two, either Pogvamps or Crow Nuts. You know, like Crow Nuts. You know, like the really yummy dessert, but it's a pun. And Pogvamps I'm actually really proud with. I came up with that on another streamer's stream actually, but they didn't latch onto it, and so I thought, oh well, I'm gonna take that, and so I did. Let me just set up this little poll here. I haven't done one of these before, so let's see how we go. How does this go? Did that pop up in the chat? There we go, little poll, there we go. So everybody is able to vote there for what we want our fan name to be. Oh, it's very close. Ooh, this is exciting. Ooh. Wow, I thought that was actually going to be a bit of a landslide, one way or the other, but that's very close. You're our dessert. Oh, we've got a little redeem there, which is very fitting. Fine pancake, I suppose you are, my little pog vamp. Come here. But, how long does this got to go? A few more seconds, I think. I might take a quick little drink while this is going. Then we'll find out who the fan name will be. I've got to... No, what are you doing? We're meant to get a winner. Okay, new idea. We're going to do the same one, but I'll let you use bits to add to your vote. So if you've got any bits saved up, you could use those to boost the result into what you would like it to be. So let's try this again. Yeah, yes, we're pulling out microtransactions, fools. Oh, maybe I'll make it so you could use, there we go. You can use Tarzos as well. Cool, I didn't know you could do that. Okay. So you can use, this could be 10 bits for an extra vote, or 200 Tarzos for an extra vote. Let's see how that goes. We'll try it again. Igor doesn't get a vote. He doesn't get to have any say in how my stream goes. I do not appreciate Igor constantly coming up all the time. He's a very silly, silly boy, and he does not get a say in this at all. It's still tied. Oh, there we go, Pogvamp's overtaking. Cronuts is going up. This is very close. But if this ties again, I'm just ending the stream. I can't deal with that. That's just it. I'm just closing out. This is so close. Wow. I can't believe this. I thought it would have been a really clear winner one way or the other. Oh, here we go. I think Cronuts has it. Why are you trying to tie it? I don't want to tie. We want a winner. Oh no, everybody's giving away their Tarzos. There we go. I guess it's Cronuts. Congratulations, Cronuts. You're my sweet little desserts that you are. Oh, well, congratulations. I hope everybody's happy with that. And if not, too bad. That's democracy for you. Okay, so what are my goals from this whole VTubing thing? One is to become more confident. It might surprise you as somebody hiding behind an animated avatar on stream, but I do have a few few self-esteem issues, especially when work wears you down over the years, but I think I've already started to notice a difference from my VTubing, having a lot of fun so far, and I hope that continues. The second one was make friends, but I crossed it out already because, you know, while I was putting this presentation together, I put this together a while back actually, just so I had it in my pocket to pull out where I needed. But people have just been so nice to me. No, I wasn't prepared for it. Yeah, you know, everyone's been so welcoming. People have been helping share my things everywhere. You've been in the chat, talking to me. You've been retweeting all my stuff. People have been gifting subs and subscribing and things, and it's been really nice. I wasn't expecting it. I thought I'd have to be slaving away for like half a year to even get to affiliate, but I got that in like a month, and now I've got a debut with like 30 viewers. That's what's going on. I didn't even know what's going on there. So many people here, so many followers. I'm really excited to see what happens next. Get my blush out of the way. Stop that. I can't feel. I can't show emotions. I have to repress those back. And the next one, turn everyone into 90s kids. I think, there's so many cool things from the 90s. Oh, thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate it so much. I had notes for this, but I've completely forgotten. I'm too excited and nervous. So, there's so many kids from the 90s who had a lot of things that they enjoyed growing up. But they've kind of fallen to the wayside and nobody knows what they're talking about. And I feel like that particular age group has fallen into a weird limbo where all the old people think that they're Zoomers and all the Zoomers think that they're old. And so we kind of don't really get a fair shake of the stick sometimes. No one gets the things that we're nostalgic for. Nobody really understands what we're about. And all the people in charge of making movies and things, whenever they're going for nostalgia, they always go for 80s stuff, And things like what Ghostbusters, Star Wars, Back to the Future, all those sorts of things. The things that we 90s kids liked, but they were the things our parents got us into, there's not really people don't really get what we're about when it comes to nostalgia. And so I thought it'd be nice and welcoming to kind of bring that back a bit. And at the same time, talk about what we've liked and went through for the younger audience as well. Oh, hi, Fies, how are you doing? We're just talking about my VTubing goals on a slide deck. And so, there's a lot of things that I feel like, Zoomers, as they're apparently called, aren't aware about either. I don't know if I have any in my chat. I don't know the age spread of my followers here. But, they don't know things about, when you had, instead of having a USB stick, you had to burn things to a CD to give out to somebody. Or you had to deal with rewinding VHS tapes that you bought from, rented from Blockbuster. Or where, if you wanted to use the internet at the same time as somebody was on the phone, you just couldn't do that. It was wild times. And, I feel like it is getting to the point where the culture of 90s kids is starting to become retro and we are, dare say it, old. I don't want to say it, but I feel like I have to. And it's a weird feeling. And so as people of that age group start to age up a bit and their culture goes out of style, I just really want to, make them feel comforted and know that they're not alone, the first time I ever felt old was when I was browsing Reddit and I saw a post, I think, on one of the Nintendo boards. And it was a question, and it said, for those who were alive at the time, what was the critical reception like to Super Mario 64? And I'm like, what do you mean alive at the time? That was only a couple of decades ago. That's recent history. What do you mean? And it kind of clicks in that there are people who were born after the new millennium, they might not even be adults yet, They haven't even gone through all the things that we went through. And so all the things we take for granted culturally aren't even big deals now. And it's kind of weird. And, it feels like we're becoming our parents a bit. It's weird. And so I thought I'd make this comfy 90s atmosphere to make people feel like they've come home a little bit. While also teaching the children of today about all the cool things from back in my time. Another goal is to improve my level design. I was talking before about wanting to do level design streams. And so I feel like if I can actually do this on stream for an audience and have people experiencing the stuff I make, I feel like I might actually be able to hold myself accountable. I keep trying things all the time, new projects and things. And before too long, I just give up on them. I lose focus or interest. I have the attention span of something with bad attention. But, if I'm doing it on stream, I have a way of holding myself accountable. And so I might actually be able to develop an actual practical game design skill. Because I feel like out of all the disciplines in game design, level design is probably the one that I'm most interested in. And finally, I want to make something I can be proud of. I want to come to the end of all this and be like, hey, I did a good job. I made a really, I made a good community. I made good streams. I had a really good run of it. And, things are better now than they were before I started. So I just want to come to the end of it and be like, hey, you know what, Vernon? You did pretty good. I'm proud of you. And then I just pat myself on the back. Except I can't because I can't move my arm. But just imagine I pat myself on the back. And that's everything. So now a very exciting part of the presentation. It's going to be an awards ceremony! Woo! Just one moment, I need to prep some stuff here. So I'm going to be giving away a few VIP badges, which you can show off in the chat. These are going to be going to a few people who've done really nice things for me in my short time already. I didn't know how many I had, so I've been a bit conservative with them. So please don't feel bad if you didn't get one. I appreciate all of you so much. Like, you have no idea. This is ridiculous. You know, I've got so many people watching my streams, retweeting my stuff, liking my videos. Auntie, thank you so much for the tier 2 sub. Wow. Enjoy your silver Blockbuster membership. Here at Blockbuster, we're bringing entertainment home. Oh, we've got a raid. Who's that? Oh, Ellie. Thank you so much, Ellie. You came in just in time. This is so good. How did your stream go? Hang on, let me give a little shout out to Ellie. I think I've got a little button on my stream deck here where I can do that. Let's do it manually. Shout out Moko Ellie. Now, Ellie was doing their own stream today, where they were showing off their new design, and also debuting a new solo cover, I believe. How did that go, Ellie? You know, I'll give you a little bit of a focus here. We've got a little awards presentation here. We're about to give away some VIP badges. Oh, that's so good to hear. So good to hear. So you can treat this little podium as your own for a little bit there, Ellie. Tell everyone about how your new stream went. Oh, Cordy, thank you so much. Oh, no, that's Cordy is cute, not Cordy. So that's a Cordy simp giving me some money there. But Cordy is most definitely cute. Thank you so much for donating into the Beanie Baby Investment Fund. Oh, and Mello! Oh, signing up for Blockbuster. Well, I hope you enjoy your time here at Blockbuster. We're bringing entertainment home. There's so many notifications coming in, I can't keep up. Oh, just going. Oh, thank you, Ellie. I had so much fun putting in all these alerts. You know, they're the most up-to-date and hip pop culture references, I think. And they're all very fitting in with my theming, if I do say so myself. But this is good because actually... now some of the people who I'm giving awards with are actually here in the chat, so it's a bit less awkward. So I haven't actually given out any of these badges before, so we'll see how it goes. But yes, these badges are going to a lot of people who've been helping me out through all my time here, doing some really nice things for me. Some of them have been here since like the very beginning, since my first streams. So I'm doing them in alphabetical order so that... you know, there's no favoritism involved, and I'm going to be using gender-neutral pronouns to keep up with the suspense, so you don't know exactly who I'm talking about until the end. So this first person is someone who started watching a bit recently. They're always interacting with me on Twitter. They've been a really big support, and today they were even here in the chat before the stream even started. So this first VIP badge goes... to Auntie! Oh, and thank you, Auntie, for gifting a sub to Blue there. Hope you enjoy your time at Blockbuster, Blue. We're here at Blockbuster. We're bringing entertainment home. And now my next VIP today. They've been a big help as well. They try to come to all my streams if they can, even if it's really late for them. You know, I've had a few of my evening streams, which in their time is really late at night. They're still there, still in the chat. And they're a really, really, really big cutie. And so with that, who else could it be except Corty? Welcome, Corty, to the VIP stand. Everybody give a big round of applause to Corty. And now my next one goes to, yes, I think they were actually one of my very first viewers. It was very fun talking to them. I met them in a networking thread where we were both masquerading as normal everyday humans. And we fooled them good. I keep forgetting to message this person about setting up a collab because it's long overdue. It needs to happen sooner or later. They're watching pretty much all of my streams. They're not, even if they're lurking, I still appreciate it. I pretty much always see them there. And then sometimes they pop into the chat as well. So this next badge goes to DK. Hooray, everybody give a round of applause to DK. Now my next badge goes to someone who's actually streaming themselves right now. So we'll have to give them, what do they call when someone else picks up the award for them? Oh, in absentia, that's the one. But this person has been a really big support. They're a really positive presence in the VTuber community. I've had so much fun talking in their Discord. Made lots of friends in there. You know, their Discord is the absolute best Discord I've ever been in. It's ridiculous. They're a really, really fun person. And they've got really big things ahead of them in the future. And I mean, they've already done big things, but even bigger things. So this next badge goes to Kay. I don't know if I can give her one if she's... There we go. Okay, good. But Kay's streaming at the moment. So afterwards, if she's still going, we can possibly raid her. And now next one goes to one of the absolute nicest people I've ever known. They're just such a sweet person. The second I followed them on Twitter, they followed me back, even though they're much bigger than me. And that was a really nice moment. And I've had so much fun in their streams. I want to talk to this person more. I really need to because they're so nice. Their streams are always a delight. They've been such a big helping hand to me. And also, I owe them big time for killing their Neopets. So this next VIP badge goes to Mello. Congratulations, Mello. I hope I still have enough badges. I don't actually know how many of these I have. No, Mello, don't cry. Don't cry. I'll take it back if it means you don't cry. I don't want you to cry. That'd be so sad. So this next badge goes to someone who, again, was one of my first ever viewers. I see them pretty much all the time in my viewer list, whether lurking or chatting, and I really appreciate them for that. So this next badge goes to Ruri. Woohoo! Yay! Now this next badge goes to another one of my early viewers. And also the person who did the first ever fan art of myself. I wasn't expecting that. That was so cool. I was really excited to see this. I've completely lost my train of thought. I'm getting a bit woozy from all the attention here today. But yes, they tweeted me in a sketch they were doing of myself and a few other VTubers, and that melted my heart. I don't have much of a heart left after all these years, but, it's really made my day. And so this next VIP badge goes to Shadespark. Now this next badge goes to someone I've met more recently. They've already proven to be a very positive presence. I've had so much fun talking to them in their chats, and they've been such a big support. Pretty much all of my TikToks and YouTube videos, they'll be there either liking it or in the comments, providing me with a lot of support. They make my day. It's so fun. And their streams are also really fun as well. So I definitely recommend watching this person, who is Solaire. Yay! Congratulations to Solaire for the VIP badge. Now let's pull out the next one. You're welcome, you're welcome. I hope you enjoy it. I just want to show how much I appreciate you here. I appreciate everyone so much. It's just ridiculous that I've had all this support so far. It means a lot. And I'm going to have to make up a new batch of these badges at some point to give away to more people, because there's so many people who've helped out. But I just wasn't sure who exactly to give them to, because, there's so many people helping me out, and I don't know how many of them I actually have. But once I get a clearer number of that, I'll give out a few more at another stream. I can do another fun little award ceremony. How long have I been streaming for? Oh, only an hour. Okay, that's good, that's good. Okay, so this next badge goes to someone else who also did some fan art of myself. Another positive presence who's pretty much always here in my chat since they've discovered me. And I think they've commented on like every single one of my YouTube videos. It's been really fun just seeing them pop up there. And they're also someone who's here today, so that's really cool. Oh, beg your pardon. So let's give a very warm round of applause to Pancake. Congrats on the VIP badge, Pancake. Now we've got one more badge. Last but definitely not least. This is somebody who has been such a big support to me. The second they found out that we had the same model artist as our mama, they've been promoting all of my stuff. They've been in my chat. They've been raiding me. They've been just chatting to me and having a really supportive presence. So I appreciate this person so much. And they're also somebody who I'm long overdue with the collab for. So I'll be in your DMs very soon. Walker! Ah! They even rated me. He even rated me today. You know, it's very cool. It was like a few minutes into the stream and they were already rating me. It was very cool, very cool. So yes, everybody here who's from Walker's chat, you probably already know how cool they are. Okay, so that's all the badges, and I think yes, okay, good. Wasn't anyone else forgetting? That would have been really awkward. But yes, thanks so much to all of those people. Then that brings the presentation to a close as well. Congratulations to all the VIPs. And yes, congratulations to all future VIPs once I work out who the next batch should go to. Whew. I just need to relax for a bit, I think. Just need to take a breather. Well, I've got like 20-something new followers today. I've got 35 people watching. Hell's... hell, what is that? I have like a whole lexicon of things I meant to say. Hell's below, that's the one I wanted to say. Ooh. Let's all just take a breath. Oh, thanks, Mello. I definitely needed that hydrate emote there. Woo, woo. This has been fun. It's good, it's good, it's good. Okay. So I'm going to head back over to the chatting screen. Woo! Here we go, get my whole body in the frame there. So yes, I hope that was a bit of fun for you all. The debute's still going. Got a few other things to play. Oh yeah, I've got a game to play and everything. But I figured I might as well take some questions from the chat. I was doing one on Twitter through Curious Cat throughout the week. But I might as well take a few now. Well, I've got you all here as a captive audience. Oh, so Red King asks, who are your favorite VTubers? So out of the bigger names, my favorites would definitely be Korone, Kelly, and a few of the V-Shoujo girls. They are so funny. I don't get to watch them live very often, but I love just watching their clips pop up on YouTube. So, yes, like Nyanas, Iron Mouse. I've started watching a bit of Zen Treya recently as well. She's hilarious. She gets fully into it with her 3D model. She's been doing a few racing streams lately, where whenever she crashes, she goes all in on the full body experience. It's very funny. And the whole text-to-speech thing just adds a whole extra layer of hilarity. From the smaller VTubers, some of the few I've enjoyed watching, one of them is Valerie Valkyrie. Before I started VTubing myself, she was one of the ones I watched all the time. She's a really, really kind person, and does a lot of really fun streams, especially when she gets into a horror game. Those are very funny. Pretty much all of the Cocoa Cafe gang are really good. Mello's in the chat here. Kay, who I gave a badge to, Yuzu, all of those folks are so much fun. They've got such great energy, whether they're by themselves or collabing with each other. It's always a lot of fun. And yes, DK and Walker, who I gave badges to before. I always love being in their chats, watching their streams. It's always a lot of fun. Let's go back up. Oh, hang on, I'm scrolling the chat and resizing myself at the same time. That's not meant to happen. Let's just go up. What have I got? What have I got? How open to me jumping in your DMs for a vampire collab? Oh, that sounds excellent, Rosalie. I'm always game for collabs. I was kind of just waiting until I got myself a bit settled before I started planning out collabs, but yeah, super happy if anyone wants to talk about those, especially anyone I follow. Like, if you're my mutual, like, never feel bad about jumping in. Just jump straight in there and just be like, hey, do you want to collab? Do you want to talk? Like, I'm really nervous about talking to other people because I always feel like I'm a nuisance. So, like, even people I've been speaking to for months, I'm just like, oh, they don't want to talk to me. They don't want to talk to me. But whenever they find out I want to talk more, they're like, yeah, dude, why haven't you been? Just talk. And I'm like, oh, is it really that easy? Oh, okay. And yeah, that's the big thing is, oh, hey, that's my leg. Thank you for following and welcome to the jam. But yeah, Pancake, I think you're exactly right. Everyone is just really socially anxious in this line of work, I think. And they're just like, oh no, I can't talk to anybody. They hate me. But everybody thinks the same thing. And so we're all just being stupid silent doofuses. But yes, if anyone ever wants to talk to me, just yeah, my DMs are always open. Yes. Yes, how open are you to game collabs in general? Yes, I'm always open. I prefer if it is someone I've been talking to already, just so I already know whether we vibe or if you've got any deep dark secrets I should be aware about. But if you like my stuff and you want to collab, just message me. I don't mind. No harm in asking anyway. Like, I'm not going to be annoyed at anybody sending me DMs unless they're like really creepy. So just don't be creepy. That's the really low bar you've got to get above. Which music artists do you listen to? Oh, I listen to a whole range. I like a few ska bands, you know, like the classics like Less Than Jake and Real Big Fish. I also really love a Japanese ska band called Kimuri. They have really positive vibes in their music. It's just so much fun to listen to. And once you listen to one of their songs, and it's impossible to be feeling sad afterwards. Their latest album, Solidarity, which was released during COVID, that's a really good album. The number one song on that, Anchor, I just listen to constantly. Like, it's on a loop. We Are the Union is another ska band I've discovered recently. They're more of a modern ska band. They do some really, really cool music. The little intro video I showed you before actually uses their cover of You're Dead. So I got to play tribute to a really cool band and a really cool show called What We Do in the Shadows. But they have some really cool music with some really good messages as well. They've been releasing a whole bunch of what did they call them? Queer ska anthems, I think they're calling their latest songs, because they deal with some really good messages at heart. And a few of their members are also either trans or non-binary. So it's a really cool diverse lineup that they have. Going back to the questions, what have we got here? I think that might actually be a bit. Oh, what manga do you read? Oh, thank Pink. Yes, the debuts are going pretty well so far, if I do say so myself. Bit of scuff to begin with, but I think we got it all under control. So what is it? What manga do I read? So my favorite manga would have to be One Piece. Oh, Turin! Thank you for the follow and welcome to the jam. So yeah, number one manga would definitely be One Piece. I've fallen a bit behind. I was very surprised to find that after my sleep it was still going. I was hoping to find out what the One Piece actually was, and we still don't know. But yes, One Piece is really good. I need to catch up. I fell off at the start of the Wano arc. But oh, that's such a good manga. It's so good. The characters are so good. It's so much heavier than I thought as a kid, because I was watching the 4Kids dub of One Piece, which you may know is a bit infamous for, shall we say, censoring and changing. But that opening music that they had was just a bop. Like, 4Kids does some really good music for their anime dubs, even if they make some unnecessary changes, shall we say. I think I'm still a bit slanted. Just give me one moment. There we go. It's getting a bit dizzy there. So, other manga I like. I'm trying to think. Mine's going blank here. Oh, what I've been meaning to read a lot of is the Junji Ito or Ito. I'm not very good with pronunciation sometimes. But his work has always appealed to me in the way I hear people talking about it. And I feel like for spooky folk like myself, I need to check that out. Other than that, I feel like most of the time I'm normally watching anime rather than manga. Like I like Yu-Gi-Oh! I always liked Pokemon and Digimon. Well, my mind's going blank, but those are the big ones. I will say my anime taste is normally very normy. You know, it's like the big names, like Yu-Gi-Oh's and all the Shonen Jump stuff, Spirited Away. It's very normie taste, but it's very good. Most recent anime I've watched. I can't actually think off the top of my head. It's early and I'm a bit high on debut hype, so I can't think so well. I did start reading My Hero Academia, I think, or did I just save it on my iPad and I forgot to actually read any of it? Actually, I think that's what I did. I think I downloaded it. I haven't actually read any of it yet, but that sounds really cool. It's like manga with superheroes. Hell yeah, that's my jam. That's my jam. I've got to watch that. Or read it. I think the most recent anime I might have watched would have been called Another. So it was basically about this school that has a cursed class, and they always have incidents in this class because they find out somebody in the class is actually a dead person come back to life. And until they kill that person, everyone in the class will start being picked off in, like horrific accidents. So it's kind of like Final Destination with a mystery element involved. And that was really good. I liked that. I got into that through my the anime club at my university. But I really enjoyed that. So I think that would probably be the most recent one I watched. Unless you count things like the Last Evolution Kazuna movie for Digimon, which feels like cheating because Digimon's a bit old. Have you watched Higurashi? No, I haven't watched that. That was an anime, DK. It was called Another. Another. But the manga I always read will be One Piece. It's a very good manga. Do I speak any other languages? Only really little bits. I've been all over the world in my years, so I've had to learn... Oh, I'm doing it again. I'm shrinking myself. Click on OBS. There we go. Okay. So I've learned bits and pieces of other languages, like French, German, Italian, really, really little bits of Spanish and Japanese, but I didn't put too much time into those ones yet. Trying to learn Japanese through Duolingo was very tricky, I'll say that much. But I remember like tiny little bits of different languages. Like, I know how to say the vest is yellow in Italian, il vestito giallo. And I know how to say you're a stupid monkey in German, du bist ein Dufafi. And in French I can say left or right, votre à gauche. And I think that's mostly everything I can say in those languages. But I can recognize bits and pieces, but I can't speak anything fluently. Once I was actually in France as a younger Vernon, and I forgot that nobody actually spoke English there. And so I think someone gave up their seat to me on the train, and I said, "Oh, thank you." And then everybody started laughing at me, and I got a bit flustered because, I was only a little young vampire boy, and everybody was laughing at me, and I didn't know how to respond. I just thought I was being nice, but, But yes, I think that's all I can cover in terms of languages. Would you try a Castlevania game eventually? Because I feel it would be very funny and I would be interested in your game design insight. I mean, I do have a bit of a reluctance to play those games because, you know, I was going to play one on one of my first streams actually because, you know, I heard, oh, these really cool vampire games called Castlevania. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm a vampire. I'll play these. But then I found out you're actually playing as the vampire hunter, and I felt a bit conflicted about that. Felt a bit like, you know, like a snuff film or something. And also, people don't tell you this, but Dracula is kind of a dick. You know, he's borrowed money from me so many times, and he just never returns it. And you know, he'll always come over on game night, and you know, he's one of those people who gets a real stickler about the rules. Like you come over and you're playing Monopoly, and he invents all these house rules, and he's like, oh, no, you can't buy that property. You need to go through this proper process where the bank needs to approve it, and blah, 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 blah. And everybody hates him, and so, you know, we don't really want to invite him anymore, so it's really awkward. We try to plan all our game nights without letting Dracula know, because he just makes it a whole thing. It's not fun. It just sucks all the fun out of it. Oh, that's okay, Mello. Thank you so much for stopping by. Congratulations again on your VIP badge. And I hope you had fun. We're still going to keep going for a little longer. How long has it been, actually? An hour and a half. Okay, that means I can actually spare a bit of time to play the little game. So let's go back through these questions. Someone, Animate Savannah came with DK's raid, but has to lurk. That's okay, that's okay. Going back through... Chat moves very fast. It's very hard to follow along with everything that's going here. Oh, Mello wants to know what register the hypercam means. Well, he just left, so it's a bit awkward telling him about the question that he just asked, but I will answer it for the sake of everybody else. So basically, you might have seen a little, whatchamacallit, a watermark up in the top left corner. So that's for my hypercam, which I'm using to record all of my videos. It was top-of-the-line recording software back in the day. I don't know if they've updated it to anything else. People keep talking about something called OBS. I don't know what that is. I just get by with my good old hypercam. But you've got to register it, and it's very expensive. I've already sunk so much money into my VTubing, so I thought maybe I could just outsource it a bit. So for 300 Tarzos, you can make that watermark disappear for 15 minutes, which somebody did 7 minutes ago. So in 8 minutes, that watermark's going to pop back up, and if someone uses 300 Tarzos, they'll actually be able to make that disappear again. Most recent anime, I answered that one again. You like superheroes, like comic book ones? Yes, oh yes, big fan of superheroes. My favorite superhero would have to be Spider-Man. Now, as a kid, it was just kind of because his powers were cool, you know, like swinging around the city always looked like fun, and I always wanted to get web shooters of my own and just like shoot stuff and, you know, have a lot of fun like that. But when I got older, I kind of realized that, you know, the reason I liked him so much was just because of that moral grounding he had, you know. You know, he, you know, a lot of superheroes are like these super rich people that have, you know, ultimate powers and whatever. They just go around doing whatever they want. But Peter's just a kid from New York, you know? And so he just tries to do the best he can, and he knows that he's a flawed person, and that things he did, he doesn't always do the right thing, but he always tries to learn from his experiences and make the world a better place. And, you know, who knows every life is precious, so he gives all of his villains a chance to redeem themselves. And what's really good is that a lot of his villains do actually get redeemed. You know, comic books, things always go back to the status quo eventually, but he's always able to do good in the world, and that inspires his villains to be better as well. Like Sandman has become good a bunch of times. Dr. Octopus even, he managed to turn Dr. Octopus into a good person. And that's what I really like about him. He's not just about punching people, he's about fixing problems rather than just saving the day, you know? And he knows that people are capable of good, and he wants to be that influence in the world. And so I feel like that's just a really nice thing. I feel like they haven't really gotten quite into that aspect of his character in the MCU just yet. I think they did a good job in Homecoming, but since then, he's kind of been, Oh, bye Rocky Majima. Thanks so much for stopping by. Glad you enjoyed yourself. But yeah, the MCU Spider-Man at the moment is not really what I look for in Spider-Man stories, but we'll see how we go. You know, they can always fix it up. How do you feel about the new Spider-Man Miles? I'm not actually too familiar with Miles. I didn't read the Ultimate Comics. And at the time, I also had, shall we say, some problematic mindsets. And so, you know, I was one of those people, it's like, oh, why are you killing off Spider-Man just for woke points or whatever? But I've since learned that that is a very silly attitude to have. And I feel like I've grown as a person since then. But I still haven't had the chance to actually check out any Miles Morales comic stories. But I did really enjoy Into the Spider-Verse. That was a very good movie. And I'm really keen to check out Insomniac's PS4 game, because I loved their Spider-Man game. That was really good. That was one of the best interpretations of Spider-Man I've ever seen, and so I'm sure they can do the same with Miles. I'm trying to think if I've seen him in anything else. I don't think so. He seems like a good character, but comic books can be a lot. You know, there's so many stories you got to read, so much going on, and so there's a lot of characters who I haven't read as much about as I should have. Am I excited for the Venom sequel? Potentially. The first Venom movie was trying to be two things. One was like a really bad wannabe superhero movie that, you know, felt like it was made in the 90s or early 2000s. And part of it was this absurd buddy comedy, which felt like it came apart, you know, by accident. If they go more into the latter than the former and just make this absurd, crazy, ridiculous thing, then I'm super keen for it. But if they try to make it too serious and bleh, then not really that interested. You know, especially Venom's not a character I'm really that interested in, and it's probably a bit surprising as a Spider-Man fan, but you know, he's just Spider-Man. But oh, temp name 1. That's an interesting name. But thanks for the follow and welcome to the jam. We're talking about superheroes at the moment. But yeah, Venom's just never really interested me that much. He's just kind of Spider-Man, but evil, you know? And, you know, that's just kind of a lame thing. He's very 90s. Venom and Carnage, they're so 90s. So you'd think I'd like them, but not really. So let's keep going through the chat here. Dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. What have we got? So many things here. Our favorite One Piece characters. I do really like Luffy. I mean, I feel like it's a bit lame to choose the main character as your favorite, and so I wouldn't say he's my favorite, but I do really appreciate how he's just a guy who's just kind of vibing, you know? Like, he would just rock up at a new place like, hey, I'm on an adventure, I'm just gonna pass through. And then he gets pulled into all these different problems, and he doesn't just sit on the sidelines. He's like, oh, hang on, these people are being dicks. They're like oppressing all these people or doing something really evil. So, time to fight. And, you know, he stands up for what's right all the time. And he doesn't hold it against people if they have differing goals. Like, there's been a lot of enemies where once the conflicts have resolved, he's just chill with them. And they're really confused. Like, what's your game? You're going to betray me or something, right? And he's like, why would I? I don't have any reason to. You know, we're just two dudes on a journey. How about you just help me out? And they just don't get it. They're just so used to backstabbing people and having people backstab them that they just can't understand that there's this guy who's fundamentally good, you know? My favorite character, I think I would probably say, is Sanji. He's really fun. Back when I used to watch the anime, I wanted to learn how to fight like him, because, you know, the idea of just using your feet all the time and doing those cool spin kicks and everything, that was really cool. I wanted to be Sanji when I grew up. And he's just got, you know, this really cool, suave aura to him, which I try to emulate myself. You know, suave guys are cool. And I also like the growth he goes through, where at first he just seems like this womanizing creep, but then you find out about this warmth that's underneath that exterior, where he really cares about people, you know? Oh, hang on, I've got a battery warning on my webcam here. Just give me one moment. I'm probably going to wig out a little bit. Don't freak out. I forgot to plug my phone in once I unplugged it. There we go. Okay, good. That'd have been awkward if the phone just died in the middle of a stream. But yeah, so Sanji has this warmth at heart that gradually unravels itself throughout the series. And I really like that. I like how One Piece characters have so many layers. And over time, you find out there's so much more than meets the eye with them all. Yeah, Usopp's cool too. I used to really like Usopp as well. And how he was really funny and always had plans for things. And he was better than he gave himself credit for. Okay, let's go through... Are any of your wives from another country, or are they all Australian? Ah, yes, they're from all over the place. I know I've met so many people throughout history who I've wanted to share my eternal life with, and not everyone always says yes. And so I can't convert them, Vampirism has to be a consensual thing. There's some very bad vampires who just go around biting everybody, turning everybody, but I'm not about that. I try to be above that. So I only convert people if they want to be. So if they say yes, then I bite them, and then we can have a nice little chill little group going on. And so there's a few women in my harem who I've met in different countries as I've sort of traveled across the world. So there's Australians, people from Southeast Asia, people from Europe, people from the Americas. They're from all over the place. Let's keep going through. Dum. I've got one from Lady Rosalie, which I think I missed during the Dracula stuff. Hey Vernon, do you know what you should serve Dracula for all that? I'm feeling maybe a garlic pizza. I did try that once, actually. We all got in on it. We all cooked half a pizza with garlic in it, half without, and so we all took a slice from the non-garlic side and wanted him to eat one of the garlic ones. It'd be really funny. But he'd already eaten, and he said, oh, don't feel like any pizza tonight, folks. So, just another thing that Dracula ruined. But I'm happy to take any suggestions on what else we can do to get back at him. So, I think that might be all the questions I had. Dum. Yes, cancel Dracula. Hashtag. And I think that is everything. Oh, and I've got a posture check and a hydrate from Corty. Okay, so I will check my posture now. Get myself nice and comfy. And take a nice little drink. Oh, I missed the card game one. One sec, I'll just take a drink. I'm not going to free Igor. When I stream, I keep him in another room so that he doesn't ruin things as he tends to do. So what TCG do I think is hot garbage? I'm not sure if I've really played any that I thought were garbage. Because I feel like I normally hear beforehand whether it's good or not, and so, I just don't play them. I didn't really get into Magic. Oh yeah, it's the same as you. Magic isn't for you. I was kind of the same. I tried getting into it. I put a lot of money into packs and decks and things, but I don't know, it just wasn't fun for me. I'd rock up, even when I was doing drafting, because I thought, hey, drafting will be fun because everyone would be on, the same level. I won't have to worry about all these pre-constructed decks. But then, I'd try to do anything, and then people just play all these crazy cards from their hand that they couldn't have known that they would have. And then they'd be like, oh yeah, so, yep, you attack my monster, but I give it plus 10 attack, you're dead, now it's my turn, and I kill you in one shot. And I'm like, what? How was I meant to do anything about that? Like, in Yu-Gi-Oh, there's trap cards and things which can do a lot of things that you wouldn't be prepared for, but there's also staple cards that let you counter that as well. And so I think that's why Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't piss me off quite as much. Except if they're using a deck that has lots of effects in the graveyard. I mostly play Yu-Gi-Oh! Through Duel Links, and there's some decks I've come across where they send like half their deck to the graveyard, and then they start triggering all these effects from the graveyard as I'm playing. And I'm like, was I supposed to read through your whole graveyard before I made a move? Because I'm not doing that. It's like a small novel's worth of text there. So I don't like decks like that, where, you know, they go through the whole deck into the graveyard and start doing weird stuff. Turn 1 Exodia mill deck. Oh, that would be fun. Exodia decks can actually be really funny. I found a few recipes for those online that I was using in the Switch Yu-Gi-Oh game. I had to get rid of all my Yu-Gi-Oh cards because, you know, I wasn't playing them in person anywhere anymore. And they were just taking up space. I had so many of them, and so I just sold all of them off. Cordy, is Cordy denying that they're cute again? Hang on, I prepped something for this moment. Let me just, there we go. Cordy, stop bullying yourself. That's what I think of that, Cordy. You little cutie. Cordy is a cutie. Cordy is a cutie. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm the boss. I'm the boss here. So if I say they're cute, then they're cute. Nothing they can do about it. So for anyone who hasn't been in the chats of any of the Cocoa Cafe squad, you might not be familiar with this, but we all like calling Cordy a cutie because that's what they are. And they always keep denying it, even though they're cute. And so we like to just rub it in how cute they are, just until they get the message. Well, if nobody has any more questions, then I think it might be time to start a game. Maybe also a quick break, so I can top up my water bottles. I bought in a few water bottles today, because I didn't want to have to take breaks and move about and that. But I think I might have to do that anyway, because I've been drinking a lot. Because I've forgotten all of my vocal training today, because I've been so nervous and excited. But I think it's been going okay so far. But if anyone has any questions, line them up in the chat there. Otherwise, might fill up my water bottles. Take one more little drinky here. I like how my model actually looks like it's drinking. It's like, oh. It's very cool. That's one of the coolest things about having an animated model now. I can actually do things. I can even like get a little boogie down to my BGM here. Although my model's a bit laggy. I need to work out how to fix that. Because the way I was doing it before, I had my phone tethered to my computer, so they were on the same network. And that was always working really good. I was able to record everything and do all good. But then when I went live this morning, for some reason it booted me off my actual network connection and tried using the phone as the router. And so the internet speeds were terrible because, you know, it's a phone. And it was dropping, like, all of my frames. I've never seen the dropped frame counter get up to 80% before, but that's what it did. And I ran around the house seeing if there were things on the network that I wasn't aware about. And I yelled at Igor a little bit, like, hey, are you on the network? Blah, blah. But he wasn't, so apologies, Igor. That's going to be one of the only times I ever say that. But then I had to try to work out what it was. And then I checked the network and found out that it was using the phone as my internet and not my actual internet, which I haven't had that problem before. Even when I did my Omegle thing, that was using my internet properly. So I just had to unplug the phone, which unfortunately makes the animations a bit laggier. Like if I go like this, sometimes it doesn't always get all the frames of that, unfortunately. But you know, any animation's better than no animations. It's very cool. I just like admiring myself just moving about. It's been very weird recording. Oh, Lesser Red, thank you for the follow and welcome to the jam. It's my debut today. Haha. And we're just having a nice old chat with chat for a bit, and then we're going to jump into a game. Got a very exciting game lined up. This has been really weird when I've been recording videos this week, and then playing them back, and I'm actually seeing myself and hearing myself, and the voice is coming out of my mouth, and it's very weird. I'm not used to seeing that, because vampires, we don't have reflections. So whenever I don't really see myself, like I can't look in the mirror to see what I look like. So this was one of the first times I've actually seen myself talking. It's very weird. But I don't know if anyone's watched all the YouTube videos that I put up earlier this week. I thought this was going to be a really breezy week, I didn't have any streams. I thought I'd be able to throw together a few videos really quickly and then maybe focus on editing some highlight reels and just have a really nice relaxing week leading up to today. But no, it was hell week. I was trying to record some videos on the weekend, but had lots of technical issues. And then Monday night, I was recording the Omegle video, and I found out afterwards that it wiped all of my audio. I did a few tests. Like, people always like, oh, make sure you test all your stuff beforehand. So I tested it, and it all worked. And then I changed where it was saving the files so that I could save them on my bigger hard drive. And then somehow the process of doing that reset all of my audio settings. So it was no longer recording my audio, and I spent 2 hours on Omegle getting really funny footage, and I couldn't use any of it. Oh, it was a pain, and I stressed out so much. But eventually I got, I got to hold of myself, recorded some more the next day, and it went really well. I mean, I had to spend pretty much the entire day where the video was meant to premiere editing the video, and it put me behind on everything else. But I think I got a really good batch of footage, and I had a lot of fun. And some of the people who I paired with on Omegle have actually been following my things on Twitch and TikTok and YouTube and things. So that was a really weird place to get some followers from. But yes, the chat box is MSN Messenger. It's a top-of-the-line communication program. And I've got myself all ready for streaming. I've got my Hypercam, I've got my MSN, I've got my VHS tapes, I've got my hip, up-to-date pop culture references. Oh, and also, speaking of references, I don't know if anybody's on desktop or mobile, but if you're on desktop, you can look down there a little bit. Down there. I think it's in the bottom left underneath the window. There's something called sound alerts. And if you've got any Twitch bits, you can actually use those to redeem a few different sounds that will play on stream. And they're all a bit of fun. They've got music from movies, I've got goofy sound effects, things like that. So if there's any fitting moments where you think one of those would be funny, you can use your bits on those. You can also use your bits. Oro, hello! Thank you for the follow and welcome to the jam. And you can get some text-to-speech on stream, I think, but I haven't actually had that happen yet, so we'll see what happens. Hi Oro, how are you doing? We're just having a nice old debut chat here. Getting ready to set up a game soon as well. But thank you for the kind words, everybody. I guess what matters at the end of the day is that you've discovered me now, and now we can chill and be buds. Haha. You were following another Ooh, who's the VTuber, if you don't mind me asking? Yeah, I've been with a few VTuber friends so far. It's very cool. And it's always exciting when a VTuber bigger than myself follows me back. I've had like some of the VTubers I follow, and I'm like, oh well, they're following me. Why are you doing that? Like Hirumi, the Asia VTuber who started streaming last week, I believe. This week she followed me on Twitter and started congratulating me on my debut and things. And I'm just like, well, I need to get in the next window. It's just like, oh, why? You're only following like 100 people. Why are you following me? I don't even do anything. But that was really appreciated. But if you haven't followed her, actually, she's really fun. I've seen a few of her streams so far, but I keep getting the time zones wrong, and so I end up at the tail end of the streams. But yeah, she's very sweet. She's had some very fun streams so far as well. Yeah, it is pretty awesome. Sorry, it's doing my head in with 2 people with pink colors in the chat. Like, hang on. Oh, it was the same person repeating the message? Oh no, that's 2 different people. Oh, and I'm still feeling a little flustered today. I thought I would start getting a bit more comfortable as I went on, but I'm really excited. You know, it's been a really long time coming. You know, building up my experience and my follower base over the course of the last 2 months, I think, or month and a bit. And people have been really receptive. I was kind of preparing myself for the worst case scenario. I was expecting, you know, like, you know, I wouldn't even be an affiliate yet. I'd have like 20 followers. I'd have 2 people in my chat all the time, and one of them would be my real life friends, or Igor, which would be even worse. And yet, people seem to like what I'm doing, and so, thank you. It's a real big confidence booster, just seeing all the positive feedback so far. And even today, I've had so much support from so many people. Like, you're all here today. It's still 24 of you here. I haven't scared you all off yet. So you're all here. I've had so many people retweeting, giving me words of encouragement. And now we're here. So, yeah. It's really cool. And I've had a bunch of gift subs today as well. That's crazy. Yes, I don't even know what to say now. I guess it would probably be a good time to jump into a game. So the game I've got picked out today is one I've been meaning to play for a while, called Hypnospace Outlaw. It's a game pretty much all about browsing a 1999 style internet. I don't know how young my follower base skews at the moment, but the internet in the early or late 90s to early 2000s was a wild place. You know, there were so many bright colors, there were so many GIFs and animations and things, and the tackiest websites you can possibly imagine. There's a really funny Simpsons episode about that as well, where Homer sets up his own website, and, you know, it's just stupid animations with no other basis. But it's very cool. You're 28,000 years old. You don't look a day over 20, Solar. But yes, internet in the 90s, and it was really wild because you had to use what was called dial-up. And so dial-up was basically the really primitive form of internet where you use your phone line to basically dial into the internet. That's what this sound effect that I play at the start of my streams is. That's, you know, a joke about me connecting on my dial-up connection from the 90s. And so it was really, really slow. You couldn't download too much as well because you had really hard data limits. Like, you'd have data limits of like 100 megabytes. It's it was really slow. And the crazy thing was that if anybody at all picked up the phone and called somebody, it would just kick you off. Like, you had to organize with anyone in your house beforehand, being like, hey, you're going to get on the phone, or I'm going to call someone, or you're going to use the internet. And you'd have to, like, schedule time for everybody to do their internet and their phone calls. And there's just so much, you know, that people take for granted these days. And it's so weird saying that. It makes me feel so old. Like, you know, like, oh, kids these days have it so good. What are they complaining about? They get to TikTok all they want. But it does feel a bit like that sometimes, you know. And like, if you were there in the 90s, you basically got to witness the change of so many technologies. Like, you saw, you know, dial-up get phased out for DSL. You would have seen TVs and movies go from standard definition to HD. You might have seen video games go from 2D to 3D. And it's just incredible, really. Like, we've come so far in such a short amount of time. And that makes it so hard for me to catch up on what I missed because so much has happened. My grandmother had a computer before me, internet before me, laptop before me. Your grandmother sounds like a hoot. So yes, the game we're going to be playing today is called Hypnospace Outlaw. And that's a game pretty much about investigating 90s style internet. And so they've done a really good job getting the interface and everything to look like it was plucked right out of 1999. And so I thought that would be the perfect game for me to start my animated streaming with. You know, it's quite on brand, I must say. Now, we've got our Smash Mouth, we've got our VHS tapes, we've got our Hypercam and our MSN, so we can party like it's 1999 or some vague period in the early 2000s. You're 200 plus years old, but never experienced the 90s. Oh, so you missed the 90s. That means we're like opposites. I slept after the 90s and you slept through them. So if we like combined our brains, we would have a whole history there. Yes, if you ever need any recommendations for 90s media, I'm always happy to provide some recommendations. There's some really cool stuff from that period. Like, from everything, you know, like cartoons, games, movies. And it's just weird that, you know, that kind of 90s nostalgia wave hasn't hit yet. You know what? We're still doing nostalgia stuff for the 80s, and it's like, how many times can you make a DeLorean joke and it still be funny? Because oh yeah, that's something I actually forgot to mention in my slideshow presentation where I was talking about 90s nostalgia. I saw a movie recently called Captain Marvel. Quite a good movie, you know, really like Marvel superheroes. But one thing that really disappointed me was that it was meant to be like a 90s period piece, you know? And yet the only things they could think of to pull out was that there was a blockbuster in it and the internet was slow. And it's like, you could tell that it was made by probably like Gen Xers or maybe even boomers who don't really even know what the 90s was. And they're just like, what's the lowest hanging fruit we can grab? Blockbuster, slow internet. And that was pretty much it. You know, it didn't really feel like it was riding that 90s nostalgia wave. So I want to see more movies start doing that, and more games too, like games with a really retro PS1 style aesthetic. Yeah, like movies making funny 90s jokes, you know, like 90s period pieces. That the idea of that is just hilarious to me, because, you know, you watch Back to the Future and it's like, you know, they joke about, you know, like 80s and 50s stuff. So you could imagine, like, if they were doing something similar today, it would be jokes about, like, Zoomer culture and the 90s, and that would be wild. Definitely not Shio. Thank you for the follow, and welcome to the jam. Very suspicious username there, but I'll let that fly. I just get myself... oh, I'm already in the middle. Oh, that's very helpful. Maybe zoom myself in a little bit. Whew. But that was a really good stream, I think. Thank you so much for everybody for stopping by. Everybody who gifted subs, everybody who did bits and cheers and music and all those sorts of things. Oh, and I've actually got a credits thing as well, don't I? So before I say goodbye for good, I might head over to the credits. Let's, hang on, I think I need to open up my Streamlabs and then I can... Where is it? There we go, for all the credits. It says it's going to show everybody who's followed, everybody who's donated, everybody who's done subs and all those sorts of things. So yes, thank you to all these people. And I'm just going to do a quick look-see-loo and see who I'll be able to raid at the moment. So I feel like probably a few people online at the moment. Oh, Riddle's online. Okay, let's just one moment. I'll get all this set up. And we can go head over and raid Riddle. Riddle is another VTuber who has a book theme. They're a very, very fun person. We can go say goodbye to them. But if anybody's dropping off, that's okay. Thank you so much. Well, the credits are still going. Normally they only take like a couple of seconds. But wow, we've got so many people coming in, all these raids and everything. Thank you so much, everybody. I really, really appreciate it. We're hitting the end now, so I guess I'll start the raid. again, thank you so much. This has been such a wonderful day. I don't even know what to say now. Oh, but I really appreciate the support of every single last one of you. Thank you. I'll stop saying thank you now. Thank you. Hang on, I forgot a raid message. Let's get a raid message in the chat. So copy this into your clipboard, and when we raid Riddle, we can post that into the chat. Okay, so thanks everybody. I'll see you next time.